What's going on, my weebs and weebaboos? We are back, and finally I'm getting around to building and actually showing you how I built the boost gear from High School DxD. Very controversial show. I mean, it's not really a show you watch with the young ones. If you are an adult, or if you're an adult, you're kind of creepy if you're watching it. I mean, I don't know. But anyway, this is one of my hot items that I sell through my shop. And I've sold many of these and actually had many iterations of building this. So this is my latest iteration. I think this is probably the best iteration I've gone through and worked on. So I'm going to be doing the breakdown, the full tutorial of how I started from start to finish. If you pick up this kit or you are able to print it yourself from home, also I got this kit from Nikko Industries. So if you want to go there and print it yourself, now you know how to print it. Just follow the step-by-step process of the boost gear. So let's jump into it and I'll show you how we do it. So before we get started, I want to talk about the file itself. So if you go ahead and if you don't purchase through my Etsy shop, I'm going to put the link down below, and you want to go ahead and print the file yourself, you go ahead and use my link, go down there. I think I have a coupon code. Hopefully I'll have one. If not, I'll have my, that link. Please use the link and, make sure any links down below, as I will be posting all the materials I use throughout this video on how I make the boost gear. Helps support the channel and helps me push out more videos for you guys and how I make everything. That being said, the file itself, you gotta scale it down to about 90%. It is very large. So this is the original file. This is 100%, and it's 90% is, and this is 100%. So look how big. And I'm 5'10", so this is quite sizable. So if you printed it like at 100%, so size it down to about 90%. And you should get the right sizing for your arm, or for pretty much any arm, because this would be very big on the side here. So I'm not going to go into detail on how I prep the parts, because that's a whole nother video. I'll link it. I think the eye's here somewhere. Click on that video. That's going to show you my video of my in-depth detail of how I prep the parts going into the painting. So if you haven't seen that video or haven't prepped a 3D print before, ready for paint, I highly advise check out that video. I highly advise check out that video. It's a step-by-step on how I take it from this raw print to a print ready to paint. So once you watch that video or prep your parts, you can go on with the rest of the video. Now that we have the first stuff to set up, this is going to be a good time to talk about the paints, the colors that I go through, and which step by step. First, on the color scheme here, we go with a gloss black. I like Krylon. If you find another paint that you like, this is basically for the most part 90% of the paint I use will be Krylon. From this, then I go to the Rust-Oleum metallic finish gold. There's a little gold tip there. Do the gold spray paint. Then from there, I jump over to the Duplicolor metal cast red. And this we're going to be doing 3 very light misting coats to get that nice deep color. And from there we're going to jump to the clear coat. A lot of times I've been using the 1K clear. I actually have a 2K clear for this setup. Because of 2K, you really have to use it like one and done. If you're only doing one model, not really doable for getting a 2K. So you can get away with doing 1K. For the most models I have done it before has been with the 1K. And for this, 2 light coats and then a heavy coat to get that nice shiny finish. So there are your colors minus this one. This is going to be a 2K for when I get to mine. My 2K's coming in the mail. So black, gold, red, coat, clear coat. All right, there we go. That's the first coat of the paint. We got the gloss black on there. You see in the sun over here. As the gloss black. We'll jump over to the gold next. All right, there we go. There is the gold. Again, trying to get this in the right light here. Use the Rust-Oleum metallic finish gold. There are all the fingers, there are tips. And now after this, we're gonna go over to the metallic red. Thing to note is between coats of all the paints, about at least 15 minutes between coats. So that way it gives some time to dry, but not so much. That way the next coat is ready to adhere to the layer. So from here, metallic gold, let's go. I meant metallic red. So there's the metallic red. This is only the first coat of the metallic red. Again, this is a very light coating when you guys are spraying this. And be careful if you're spraying in an area that has, like, it's really windy. Right now I just was spraying it and it was getting hard to apply the paint because there's a little breezy outside. Finally, of course, the wrong time that I want it to be breezy outside. We're going to do 2 more coats of this. If I had the clear coat, I'd go right into the clear coat, but since I'm waiting on the 2K to come in, I'll go ahead and wait on that till tomorrow. I get that, and then I'll start applying the clear coat on top of this. But this is one of 3 coats of the Duplicolor metallic. This is the final coat of the metallic red. Again, if I had my clear coat ready to go, I would go ahead and spray the clear coat once this settles for a few minutes. If you're going to go with the 1K, then yes, you can go ahead. Of course, if you're doing 2K, hopefully you have enough models to be spraying, because that one bottle does cost a lot of money. And so I have myself set up with a bunch of sets to spray at one time. So this is just the fingerprints, and I'll just go through the whole step with the rest of the main parts, and then we'll start assembling once these are all painted. All right, now with the gem here, we got this, the center gem here. I hit it with the 320 grit, so it's kind of pretty smooth here, but we're gonna want buffing this out. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit this with 400 grit, 600, and then we're gonna go up to 1,000. And after that, we're gonna start polishing this so we get a nice shine to this. All right, there we go. That's all the way to 1,000 grit. You can actually see me in the reflection there. Of course, after sanding it down to 1,000, gonna give it a wash with the little Dawn soap there. Get all the grit off that. Once this dries, we're gonna go ahead and hit it with some buffing compound. We're gonna get this nice and shiny. It looks like this now because of the water, but once we buff this out, it'll look like this, even without the water. Here's the gem that's after it's been sanded down to 1,000 grit, so it's all cloudy and everything. But we're going to clean this up. We're going to polish this to a beautiful shine. We're going to use well, actually that's first. This one's first. And some turtle wax rubbing compound, and then after we do the good buffing of that, then we're going to come over to the polishing compound. Yeah, just regular turtle wax you use for your car, and we're going to buff this to a shine. And what I use to buff that is like a scrap piece of t-shirt. Get an old t-shirt, white preferably. That's just my opinion. Go ahead and cut it all up, and then roll this around your fingers, and you're gonna buff this to a shine. You're gonna shine, buffer. This might take a little bit elbow grease. If you happen to have like one of those brush ends for your for a drill kit, you can use that little buffing or buffing pad. If you you have a car that you wax often enough, grab that out, and we're gonna buff this to a shine. There we go. That's only after about a minute or so, about 2 minutes of really buffing with the rubbing compound. As you can see, it's already starting to get a shine to it. More like a satin color now. So now we're gonna hit it with the polishing compound and shine this guy up. Look at that shine. Say hey guys, what's going on? So we got this with 2 coats of rubbing compound, 3 coats of polishing compound, and just buff this to heck. I did go ahead and use my Dremel kit. I had the little buffing pad on there. There we go. Oh, hold on guys. So the bottom part, just put a little polishing compound on here, and then with the flat part, the face of the polishing pad there, I went ahead and buffed this out really good. Then I wiped off any excess with my cloth here. Here we go, and we got a nice shiny difference. You can see it's dark here because my hand's there, but if I move it up to here, look at that, right through. See the difference from the back to the front. That's pretty awesome, guys. A little elbow grease, take you a long way. All right, now that we have the gem on there, we're gonna make this thing glow. And so we're gonna flip this over, try to prop this up on like a piece of a roll of tape here. So it's not dragging on your table here. You have this. So there are one of two things. We're gonna go the cheaper route if you want to, but you can also do is, so this little hole here, that's in the channel here, this actually fits a NeoPixel. So if you want to do a little wiring and some like flashy lights, this actually does fit right there. And then we'll have the channel to run the wire to the end of the gauntlet where you can, have your plug and everything else. But we're not going to do the nano leaf right now, the NeoPixel. We're going to do the basic setup, and we're going to get some, we got some fairy lights here, and we're just going to hot glue them. We got the hot glue gun, hot glue them all around, and then to get some reflection, you get a piece of aluminum foil that's going to go on here. And I forgot to mention this when we were doing the gauntlet portion. I also cut out a piece of EVA foam over here that will overlap this, and that will just basically encase that, so that way you're not seeing A, piece of aluminum foil, B, that, or C, just the fairy lights hanging and glued there. So that way this is really, really tie the whole project together. That'll be there, and it'll be a good place to rest your hand on there once you're wearing it. Almost forgot to mention this part of the build. As you see that we didn't paint that, or didn't paint it entirely. This part of the boost, the back part, the top part of the build, gets painted yellow. So what I use is a here we go, Krylon matte sunbeam. Of course, we're going to tape off the sides, tape all that off. Then we're going to paint that with sunbeam. So there are the pixie lights, the fairy lights. It doesn't look pretty. It doesn't have to look pretty. It's okay because you're going to cover it and you're not going to see it. I'm going to show you what it looks like on the underside, well, the correct side. So that's what it looks like without the aluminum foil. Here it is with the aluminum foil on the back. A lot more reflection. Again, there we go. That's without it. And then we put it back. There is the reflection. And it's nice and bright. So the aluminum foil does help. Make sure if your aluminum foil has two sides, make sure you're using the shiny side and not the dull side. So this aluminum foil that I have, this has two sides, so make sure you're using the shiny side towards the lights. As far as the extra lights going down there, just get yourself some tape. I have electrical tape, which is nice and dark. Go ahead and cover that, and then when you turn the lights on, you can see the lights are there. No lights on. Now that we have the lights on the palm, we have this piece. We got to combine the two securely, because just this little nub that's here, with just a magnet, that's not going to really do any good supporting. So what I do is, and make sure once this is painted and it's ready, it's good to go. I want to secure your table with like a piece of cloth, nice clean piece of cloth. I'm using an old T-shirt, that way you don't get any dirt or debris or scratch up your beautiful paint job you've done. It's all the energy, time and energy put into getting everything painted. So if you flip this side, you're going to see the underside, and we get the nub here. We have to go ahead and secure this firmly. We have the switch, the light here. We have the light, the battery pack here. We're going to move this out of the way. So what you're going to need, this is a little more on the advanced portion of this build, to get a old beat up soldering iron that you're not really using, or if you've been doing this for a while, you'll ever have this one in your arsenal. So once you have this in place to where you want it, even better if you happen to have a plastic stapler. Now's a good time to bust out the plastic stapler. If you don't, you can just use the soldering iron, and we're gonna just mesh the plastics together, so that way they become as one. We want to make sure this is set in the right spot. Right there. All right, now we got a little better perspective. Secure it. Make sure that's in the proper angle you want. Put a little heat there to kind of melt the plastics together here. If you have another piece of like material, you can also glue the two pieces here, put a piece of maybe foam in here to secure the two sections together. What I like to do is extra security because I have a little thing called trust issues. So we're going to come in here with, I have a 3D pen, which actually extrudes the filament, the same kind of filament that comes out of, that's used to print this. All right, so we're going to take my 3D pen and going to fill in the gap here. And really we're just building up material here in between, and then we're gonna melt the sections together. Because right now it's really, all it's really doing is putting a layer of plastic on top as opposed to marrying them together. Unless there's a hole there, that way, that, see, like over here, that's filling in there. And luckily I had this light green, see-through translucent red filament, so it adds to the thing here. It doesn't take away. If I put like a red or a black filament here, then you see it more when you move your hand. Again, I'm just filling in the gap here with plastic, and then we're going to use a soldering iron to marry the two parts together. Now that is there, I've got a good amount of material to work with. All right, now that the plastic has cooled, give it a second to cool. And now it is one piece here. Fun fact, I'm actually watching High School DxD right now as we're making this video. So there's that. So there, it's good, all secured. Now we're going to go ahead and secure the battery pack in a way. We're going to put a little hot glue, or yeah, we're going to put a little piece of hot glue here to secure it in the spot, so that way you can still get to the batteries and then get to the switch easily over here. So we're coming to the end of this video tutorial here. As you can see, everything, all these different parts we have. The last part here, and probably I would say the hardest part, is getting the glove. This is just a red glove that I got on Amazon. I'll leave the link down below of the type I got. It's basically just a costume glove, red glove, and having to line up the Velcro here. We got some Velcro here. This is actually a new addition to this latest version, of course, with the lights, and then we get the Velcro here to secure everything in place. This, as I've made this multiple times, I've kind of learned as I've gone along with this. With these fingers here, you see these are all connected. What's not connected is this. Let this float around. I was gluing this originally, but it just added to the mess of the glue and the contact cement and everything, because I use contact cement to glue all the fingertips. So all the fingertips are glued here. You can go ahead and do as you see fit what kind of glue. I use barge cement for this, which is my go-to contact cement for this. Again, I'll leave a link down below in the description of all the stuff I use. Go ahead and use my links there to help you get all these items. So everything that I get, go check out my Amazon store. It helps the channel keep it moving. So again, I got the Velcro. There's two pieces of Velcro on this arm here. You got the bottom, you got the top, which will match up with the bottom and the top of, ooh, almost broke that, and the arm. As you can see there, that we were talking about just a minute ago, is the glued on battery set. And I forgot to mention, the slots for the arm, there's little battery inserts that you can add there. I actually have to add some batteries there, magnets for that. That will match up to this side. So I got the magnet. Oh, I'm missing one there. I think I ran out of glue when I was doing this. So yeah, and then you see the slot here. This will match up with the top part of the arm. Oh, there we go. Velcro sticking. So yeah, so this Velcro will line up with the Velcro on here. If you go ahead and want to be a little more aggressive, if you want to sew your own glove, I would sew the Velcro on before you sew the whole thing, because unless you have some kind of other sewing, I have a basic sewing machine. That's down there. Look, that's my sewing machine. And I can't get the glove onto the sewing machine so I can sew it. So I just use contact cement to glue this on to the glove. So the last part of this is the top here. Here's the top part. This is, again, I made a mistake originally. I painted the fins here, the red, and then I was going to do the middle was gold, the yellow, but I don't know what came over me. And realization, as I was watching the show, I was like, wait a minute, the colors are reversed. So I went back, taped it off, not a big deal, painted this. And then what I do for the tips, I have that little effect, I guess, going through fight or a glow. I just use orange, orange spray paint. Actually, let me grab the spray paint. I'll show you that. Well, I just realized I actually lent out or gave my orange can of spray paint that I had to a friend of mine that he was working on his own project, so I can't really show you, but it's the Krylon orange. You go down the aisle with the rest of the paints, the Krylons, it's an orange spray paint. Hopefully, maybe I'll put the picture here somewhere, whatever it looks like. And of course, the link to that color will be down below in the show notes. And let's see. And as far as if you when you get this is the the last part to go here. If you just use some really good crazy glue, I usually use Loctite. You just line this up here to the bottom. There's notches. You can see the notches there. Again, you don't have to worry about the spray paint here because this is going to link up there. You're never going to see it. So when you're spray painting, don't get too crazy by having to get this bottom edge here or this top edge here, because again, this will link up here, and that'll be linked there. So this will be whole one piece when you put it together. When you're wearing it, this will be one piece. Then it'll link up to the bottom piece, which will of course be attached to the main hand glove portion. Also with the hand, I think I missed this part, but there's the EVA foam, same EVA foam I use for the bottom of the palm. I cut out little pieces and I use contact cement to there. So you just map it out to your hand. You don't have to get too crazy. Kind of like shape it to your hand a little bit. Same spray paint, same red, clear coat and everything else. And that goes contact cement on there. And time for the great reveal. Here it is, the boost gear, fully assembled, lights, hands. Again, this is probably the best version of the boost gear I've made to date, and I've made quite a few of them so far. The hands is probably the hardest part about printing this, because everyone's hands are small or big, or some fingers are longer, some fingers are shorter, and trying to get the right size or a general size for most people is, can be a little taxing. So I kind of just make one size and I make those, and hopefully they fit for most people. I have kind of chunky, like baby-like hands. I have no problem joking about my hands. But anyway, so when you're doing the fingers, all that, making sure you're wearing a latex glove underneath, and then put the whole glove on, and that way you can get the fingers in the right spot and then glue them on to the right space. Again, so you have the palm right there and everything, and putting the Velcro inside the forearm definitely helps it stay in place. Before, it was just like I was shoving in EVA foam inside to like kind of wedge it there, and that wasn't the best option. But putting the Velcro on there definitely helps me be able to maneuver and not have to worry about it wobbling all over the place. Hopefully this was informative for you. Hope I was able to help you through your progress of making the boost gear from High School DxD. And let me know down in the comments what you would like to see for me to make next. Until next time, guys, keep making it nerdy. I'll see you next time.